Hi, and welcome to Media Strikes Back. You are here with Yana and the lovely Maritza.
Hi guys, how are you? Welcome back.
And today we have such a fun episode lined up for you. We're talking to some really talented Melburnians who are...
Oh, we've got Aron, Katona, who I hear you went to school with all through your life. So that's
Yeah,
going to be
well-
a good one. He's a fashion designer.
He is
Yep.
a very edgy one, very modern day designs, and we'll talk about that in a moment.
Excellent. And we've also got Paul Ruske.
Paul Ruske, a gorgeous acoustic artist. And finally, Michael, who is at the Royal Barber Shop.
We're called Royal Crown. It's a new way to cut men's hair, so or new/old way. So it's an interesting story. You've got to look out for that one. So I'm looking forward to hearing about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But first up, let's talk about Aron Katona, who, like I said, it's a very rare occasion that you actually get to go to school with someone who later becomes, you know, a celebrity, if you like.
And so talented. Yeah.
Yeah, and I actually went to primary school with him, high school, and would you believe we did the same uni course together? And I don't know
So maybe
how
you're
often
going
that could
to
happen.
become a famous fashion designer one day too. You've done all the same qualifications. Why not? Yeah.
I know, but the funny thing is that we actually studied marketing, and he then ventured out. He's got a place in South Melbourne that he sells his clothes at, and I was just randomly walking past and going, oh my God, what's happened to you? When did you have a chance to do fashion? And he actually taught himself, which I find is just so inspirational.
Hey,
to
YouTube can do amazing things these days.
These days, all the how-to videos are just fabulous. But
Let's go
anywho,
check out this interview. I'm dying to see it.
let's check out how JD spoke to Aron.
All right, here I am with Aron from Aron. Tell me, how did you start out? I mean, you're self-taught, so how did you start out? Where did your flair come from?
It was always there. I started sketching when I was about 6 years old, and I loved different materials. I was always really interested in colour. I've always been fascinated with expressing myself through colour and drawings, and that translated to materials, I think, in my teens, later in my teens, and being frustrated with not finding the right garment to wear to express myself through.
How long has Aron as a label been running now?
Exactly 3 years.
Exactly 3 years.
Yeah.
To this day, it's been running for 3 years.
Well, I started it about 3 years ago on my birthday, 25th of Feb, so a little bit over. A little bit over, but
That's all right.
I'm blown away by how well it's been received. I'm so grateful, really grateful.
And tell me, Aron, where do you want to take the label Aron as itself? Where's it headed?
Well, currently I've joined forces with an amazing makeup artist, Stacey Piper. So the way the two of us met was I was taken by how amazing Stacey's makeup artistry and hair artist skills were, and I was doing smaller shows for places like Fashion Lounge and Love Machine, and Stacey would do hair and makeup for the models, and I had an idea about a year ago. I said, how about we join forces and form Star Runway, which is ST comes from Stacey, AR comes from Aron, and we formed Star Runway, and we turned it into a mixture of hair and makeup artistry, and fusing models and designers from different cultures, from all walks of life in Australia, and fuse it with fashion and runway, which was more my side. So what I see in the future is expanding the Star Runway label and using it as a vehicle for Aron to showcase.
How long does it take you to design a range to get ready for such an event like the Melbourne Fashion Festival?
Yep. So the two main events that we're aiming at with Stacey, with Star Runway, is Melbourne Spring Fashion Week and L'Oreal.
Right.
And what we normally do is we have a look around at what's happening overseas. We have a look around at what feel is happening at the moment on the fashion scene, but we don't necessarily follow that. We may or we may not. Sometimes we've come up with our own themes, but we'll pick a theme that we both feel very strongly about. An entire collection would probably take me 2 months. Stacey would probably take the same amount of time to put together a collection of headpieces. But it also is really, I can't emphasize this enough, it really depends on the mood you're in, and you have to ride a wave of feeling, because when you jar an emotion about a specific dress or a garment or a headpiece, I think you have to run with it. When you're inspired to do it, it comes and goes.
Okay, and do you have any words of wisdom or perhaps any ideas for the upcoming Spring Racing Carnival?
Absolutely. Be yourself. Don't be afraid to take risks. Don't be afraid to do something different from what's out in the industry, because there's always going to be a million black, white and grey dresses out there, but you've got to take risks. I think the biggest thing that's really carried me through with the Aron label and the Star Runway label with Stacey Piper is I've never been afraid to take risks on my own with Aron, and the two of us haven't been afraid to take risks.
Thank you very much for talking to us, Aron.
Thank you so much for your time, guys. Thank you.
No worries. All the best for the future.
Wow, what a collection, Yana. Beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful. Loved
It's
it.
got some great stuff.
And after the break, we go speak to Paul Ruske. So stay tuned. Welcome back, and we hope that you're getting excited in your seats right now, because we're about to speak to an acoustic artist called Paul Ruske, who's got some really creative skills going on, and he uses all these old school instruments. Anyways, you'll see when you see.
Some raw sounds. Let's go and check this one out.
Hey guys, I'm Paul Ruske, and this is my song, Uncertain Times. In these uncertain times, you need someone to hold on to. In these uncertain times, I need someone who believes in me. 'Cause I'm getting older, the days getting longer, and I'm not any wiser. I just hope there's another way back. In these uncertain times, need someone to hold on to. In these uncertain times, I need you by my side. 'Cause we're getting older, the days get longer, my life's getting shorter, and not where I wanna. I'm still not anyways. I just hope there's another way back.
Hi guys, I'm here with a very, very talented man, Paul Ruske. Very talented. No. You are a man of many talents.
You know the stories.
Exactly. Yes. So, Paul, I really want to, I know you do a lot of things, but I really want to focus on just chatting about your music in general because it's a really interesting sort of concept behind your music. So, tell me a little bit about your style in general.
We got serious all of a sudden there, didn't we? I'm a big fan of 70s music, so the record has a real kind of, I think 70s vibe to it. We got the band together all in a big room, and we recorded to tape, and we did kind of lots of things that people don't tend to do anymore because computers have made the way you make records very different. So we used some computers and things, but most of the time we tried to stick as old school as we could, just whole takes and things, and trying to do actual performances rather than kind of just cutting things up, which is a fine way to do things, but just not what we wanted to do for this one. So.
And that's fantastic because this album, where is it? I've got it here. This album, there was no release date, and I found that really, really interesting because a lot of artists these days, they just go and sort of give a release date. Why didn't you sort of push for that?
Well, I think the music industry has changed a lot in the last, it's always changing, I guess. But it's changed a lot in the last probably 10 years. It's changed a lot, with the internet coming out and things like that. And it's probably a little less relevant that a record comes out, it's like, or a song comes out. This record's more for people to discover if they want to, when they feel like it.
It's really interesting because a lot of people, they write music and it's based on something personal. Like, would you say that a lot of your stuff on this album is based on personal experiences, or?
Very much so. I had a child during the making of this. I didn't personally have a child. That would be impossible. So I had a child with my wife during the making of the record, and that really, when you have a kid, you kind of tend to look out at the world a lot more and wonder what's going on. So there's a lot of themes on the record of it's called Uncertain Times, so there's an uncertainty about the world that we currently live in, and what that means to me and my family and my friends and then everybody else, I guess, as well.
And a lot of people can definitely relate because who's this special boy on the front cover?
That's Rafi, my little man. He's actually a bit older now. We took that photo about a year ago, standing in a field. He was amazing on the day. I can't believe we did that to him.
And there's just one sort of track that you did that I saw. It was called Washed in the River, and that was featuring the gospel choir.
Yeah, Soweto Gospel Choir. That was such a fantastic experience. Those guys are amazing. If they ever come to town, go and check them out there. It's wow. Going into that studio and because we went and did it at the ABC in their big auditorium there, and hanging out with those people was like something that I'll take with me for the rest of my life. It was such a life-changing experience, and so grateful and honoured that they would come and do that. I'm just a dude in Melbourne who wrote like this kind of old school gospel song, and this wonderful choir said yes, and it was remarkable. We had such a good time doing it too. So.
And you perform every couple of weeks, yeah?
Yeah, there's a great little place called the Wesleyan in Northcote, and there's a cool night called Simply Acoustic. So I head down there basically, every fortnight, and just strum away on a guitar or bash a piano. And it's been great. It's like the live thing. You can't beat live,
And what's been like your most interesting live experience?
Interesting live experience. A couple of weeks ago, someone told me to take my shirt off, which is a bit weird. I said they probably didn't want.
That's the wrong kind of gig to go to.
Oh, exactly, yeah. Magic Mike, right?
This guy's Paul Ruske, hey?
Great muso.
Talented.
Very talented.
Oh, these guys have so many skills. His guitar, piano, Did you learn any instrumental music when you were
at school?
I don't know,
Ever? Well, I remember my parents tried to get me to play the piano, and that worked for a little bit, and at school when you can kind of do arts and music and all those kind of creative humanity kind of subjects, I got really involved. I remember being the first in my class to play the piano with both hands, and I felt like, what an accomplishment.
You really achieved something. You know what I used to play? I used to play the violin.
Wow, the violin. Did you?
Just
My mum
walking
always
down the
said,
street holding these violin cases at 6-year-olds. Hilarious.
My mum always had something against, different musical instruments. So with the violin, she's like, but your neck would get sore, and then with a flute. But what about your lungs?
And the
you'll
cello's
get
too
puffed
big.
out, and the cello's too big. So there was always an excuse. But now I regret
not a very
it.
musical family then.
No, and I wish I was, because you see artists do it, and you just get so inspired.
Yeah, no, they've definitely got a knack for it. He's got an amazing talent. So
True.
Yeah, that interview was great.
Yeah, and it's never too late. I think there might be a day that I go back and do some classes.
That. Yeah, why not? And after the break, we're going to go and see Michael at the Royal Crown Barbershop. Hello and welcome back. Now we're going to interview Michael from Royal Crown Barbershop, and I'm really excited to see this one. What's it? What sort of hairstyles have you been seeing around lately? Have you noticed anything sort of new?
Lately, for men, we're talking.
Yeah,
obviously.
men. Yeah.
Talking about barbers and all that.
Yeah.
Lately, I don't know, but I do remember the certain hairstyles that for generations, I think I'll never forget in my lifetime. So you had the bowl shaped haircut that a lot of kids get at school.
Punishment. That was a punishment, that one.
You've got the mullets and the mohawks.
Yeah,
and
they're wrong.
they will never be forgotten, I think.
Yep.
So you've got the different parts, so like the side part look and the spikes.
Bros? The duo Bros, and they had that flat. Do you remember the flat top? And there's actually this hair tool that you've got that you put, and it's got this gel that makes sure it's exactly straight on the top.
Even
just cut over the top. It's crazy.
There's so many different hairstyles going on. It's just evolving. I wonder if any of them will really come back.
I reckon Michael's keeping it sort of glamorous. Let's go and see what he's
Guys, we've been talking about fashion all week, and we've been talking about what we wear. But I'm going out down to the local barbershop at Royal Crown Barbers, and I'm going to find out what we can do with this. And more specifically, what we're going to do with this ugly mug. I don't know, but I'm down at local barbers and I've got my mate Michael with me. So Michael, tell us the barbershop, and this is a pretty cool barbershop by the way, because I walked in and I thought I was going to see some old bald guy that was going to be like, I've been doing this for years, but I rock in and this place is just, this screams style and fashion. So and it's all about making people look trendy and pretty and handsome. And
Well, barbershops is that classic look, but we do it in a modern way. So
yeah, awesome. Do you think you could do something with this ugly mug or what?
we can fix the hair. I don't know if I can fix it.
Oh!
Yeah, I'm sure we'll sort it out. Basically, what we're doing right now is the consultation. So I look through your hair, see how it's been cut before.
Yeah.
Notice if there's anything that I should be looking for, such as moles or skin disease. But
well, let's hope I haven't got any of
it's
that.
very rare. And then basically, I ask, where have you got your haircut before? For example, there's a little bit of a dent here where it's gone short to long. So I'll be like, did you get this done somewhere or
somewhere El
yourself?
Cheapo?
Nah, but that's basically it. And then we just talk about what you want. So
Cool.
what kind of hairstyle you want to get today, man?
Look, I tend to put my trust in a hairdresser.
Okay.
I don't go often because I tend to have to grow my hair for roles and stuff, and for this guy with the camera. So, yeah, you tell me.
All right, man.
And I'm pretty sure Tristan will probably say the same thing. We'll put the trust in the hairdresser.
All right. So
Yeah, there's a thumbs up there.
basically a classic side part.
Yeah.
Something you can style easy at home, and something that'll look good when you go out. Man. Cool. And we'll get rid of all this fluff on the sides and back. Because you want to, you want to look sharp, you want to go out look good.
Yep.
Funny thing, you can really tell a lot about a person by the way they look into the mirror.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm looking into the mirror now. What can you tell about me?
You're quite calm, you're not too uptight, you're not stuck up, you don't have a big hang up on yourself.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Just because the way you look in the mirror, you're not turning your head, you're not,
like checking yourself out.
basically, you're not making funny faces, you're not doing it.
And so what would you say today's Melbourne is sort of going back to? Are they going back to that 1930s, 40s era? Or?
Yeah, I think people are going more for that traditional haircut these days. Just because, like with modern trends and fashion, people sort of just go with what they're told to go with. So,
yeah,
I'd say a good 5 years ago, everybody's doing a mohawk, or it's a variation of a mohawk,
Ah, yes, yes.
Now people are going towards the, side parts, slick backs, more that traditional look because, TV shows like Mad Men and
they were coming out, so.
Mad Men and, was it Boardwalk Empire?
Yeah, Boardwalk
Everyone comes in and says, oh, I want, Jimmy's haircut or whatever,
And what's the weirdest sort of request you've had over the last sort of year?
I wouldn't say the weirdest, but one of the funniest ones is I had a guy come in, he had, pretty long hair, and he just goes to me, yep, so I just want a MacGyver mullet.
A MacGyver mullet, that is awesome.
Yeah.
So what's involved in barber school? Because a lot of people probably don't know that there's even a barber school out there. They probably think that, you're like an apprentice sort of thing. That's always what people
well,
see
traditionally,
barbershops
like
as.
the apprenticeship used to be around, but these days most people aren't taking apprenticeships just because it's turned into an age where you need paperwork for everything.
Yeah, true.
You started off doing the basic head shaves just from day one.
Yep.
You were shaving heads, learning how to control the clippers and do all that, and then as the weeks progressed, you did more and more. So yeah, basically once you finish your schooling, you've got to go into an actual barber shop.
Yeah.
And basically like an apprenticeship, like you've got to complete a certain amount of hours.
Yeah.
So when you finish those hours, I think it was like 150 hours or something, I can't actually remember anymore.
It's kind of like just getting your license, isn't it?
Yeah, so then once you finish your hours, you've got to go back to school and complete your assessments. Once you do that, you get your certificate in barbering.
Yeah.
And you basically let loose into the world of cutting hair.
And watch out.
That's it.
Alright guys, so there you have it. Michael's done a whirlwind job of making me look at least half decent. And he's still shaving my neck, so I'm kind of being quite cautious of what I say right now. He's done a fantastic job, and pretty sure my next role is going to be in maybe Boardwalk Empire, so look out guys.
Thanks, guys. That was really interesting. Men are definitely getting their glamour back on.
And how nice and handsome did our JD look at the end of it?
Of course, always JD, looking good.
Got some grooming there.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I think men are coming from the whole scragged look a bit and wanting to look nice.
Yeah,
again.
there's nothing metrosexual about it. You just want to look nice for your lady or just generally for yourself and get the confidence up. I think that's a really great thing.
They've got lines of people lining up for this guy. Yeah.
He's fabulous. Check him
get
out.
I'm going to get my man down there to get cleaned up. Good idea.
Absolutely. Why not? Why not?
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us today. We've had an amazing time with you. Make sure you go on our website.
Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. See what's going on.
Mediastrikes.com, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.